10 seconds in on YouTube. Just grab your crayons and your pencils. Yeah, let's play the picture pages with me. All right, so we got our recording back in progress. Thank you all for bearing with me. People all over the world join in. You have a love train, a hover train. DJ Microwave 5,000 watts, blowing up your spot, taking everything you got. You see, when I was little, you could walk down the street and there'd be somebody blasting some music. I remember what I used to listen to. It ain't that they don't make good music anymore. They don't make what I was listening to anymore because they made it then. Stuff that they make now is good, it's quality, and they talking about their era and what they do, and I'm not ignoring this era because it's mine. I'm in it too. I didn't say everything that folks said back in the day, just like I don't say everything that folks say today, just like I don't plan to do the same thing later on in my life. Because I'm here to share something with you all. Like Kahalet said, I speak nah. I speak nah. I speak nah. I speak Noah. And in Noah's just me and the boys. Because I speak nah. I speak nah. I speak Noah. Selah. All right, so Mama gave me a challenge. Katina Hutchison, Shalom Barak, Turtle VR, Jacket, Shalom Barak. Welcome. When we start up on this channel, speaking to you all in YouTube land, I'm about to tell you, thanks for asking the question. What's this channel about? What is this? I think it's time to go ahead and silence this music and let's go on and get this rocking and rolling. Who is ready? Who's energetic? Who's got their notebooks, pads, pens, pencils, lápiz y papris? Por favor, please. Who is ready? Because we rocking and rolling. And this is before there was a guitar. You ain't know it. You ready for this? Because you asked the question. Well, Katina Hutchison, in order for you to even attempt to make my day, you would be selling yourself short. I think it is time to cut the music and get to rocking and rolling, right? See, first off, I'm going to give honor to the one who did give me my day. The Lord and creator of all things, of all worlds, set them in place and in balance so that when I did get the chance to walk around in this physical form, because I was known by this same individual, was known by that individual before I was even a little part of flesh, as a leech-like presence that became something that actually had the potential to be a blessing to this planet that I walk upon. So I have to first give honor to our source of sustenance and mercy for giving me any kind of concept in my mind to know that there is a separation of darkness and light, for me to even think that there is a day or a night, and then to even realize that on my calendar, it takes about 30 yawns to define a day. So if you want to make my day, you have shown up too late. Timing. We've been talking about time. We want time. We want stuff on time. Let's talk about timing. What you mean, coach? Well, you see, I gave you this playbook. Yes, yes, yes. And I told you to learn the patterns. And I even told you I need you to do that 30-yard dash, but I need it done. Can you give me it in 3 seconds? Can you do that for me? So you actually want me to move 1 yard per second. Oh, no. We're almost there now. Now this is a 30-yard dash. So I need you to move 10 yards per second in 3 seconds. Timing. Really appreciate that you learned the playbook and you know the pattern, but if you're not doing that in 3 seconds, you're not going to be there to catch that ball, or you're not going to be there when my lineman is coming across the way to offer you a block after he already made sure that the quarterback was safe. I need you to be there exactly in 3 seconds. When you run off the line, when that man says 10 hut, I need you burning rubber, getting there at that spot. Not 2.5, not 3.2. Can you run 30 yards? Coach, that's impossible. Now we're getting somewhere. Time. I want stuff. I want it now. Well, that's not timing. Timing is we're a team and there's a playbook and you know what the set pattern is. So you show up and you run your pattern and you make sure that whatever the play is, it's an execution and it's completed. Execution isn't always a bad thing. Execution means that something was initiated and it was completed. Execution. Be on the move. I hear there's 4 characters we'll eventually need to be using. Let's talk about LOVE and how we should see some of our sisters move, and then we can talk about MOVE, talk about how some of the men should love, the brothers should love, and the sisters should move. Timing. If we're not in position to do what we're supposed to be doing in our work, then it's a toil for everybody else because everybody is off of their timing. What you talking about, Willis? What's your mission? Honestly, what is your mission? You didn't show up and hang out just to say, well, yeah, I know that you want to talk about entrepreneurship and service in your community. I know you want to talk about that. And you kind of cool and you're entertaining, so that's why I'm here. Still trying to figure out what does baby got to do with entrepreneurship or even service in your community. You ever listen to the radio? You ever walk into a business and listen to what's played on the radio in the business? You ever walk into a business and pay attention to the personnel in the business? Because this is called the culture of that business. Whatever the personnel does in that business reflects the culture of that business because they got to spend some time around each other. What's that got to do with? You see, that's why, and shouts out to Ahmad Trucker. We set our channels for adults only because some things are not meant for children. However, and thank you for the love, thank you for the gift. Yahweh, Yahweh. You see, sometimes we have to cover those subjects and then see if it's all right for our child to listen. So, I'm not saying don't let anyone under 18 years old hear what I'm talking about. By all means, let them. However, when I start talking, I'm not in control of what comes out of my mouth. I get a slight idea when I open my eyes for the day. I'm told, hey, this is what you're going to talk about. Okay. So I'm not in control once I start speaking. And sometimes a child might be too immature, or they may not have even been exposed to certain things. So they're going to be further confused along with the confusion that they had while they were scrolling, just trying to occupy their minds. So it's not that I don't think I have a great message. It's I don't want to confuse them. So I would prefer that the adult in their life says, hey, come here, I want to spend a little time with you. I want to show you something. I'd rather be that guy. Okay. So no, it's not for children on the first broadcast because we're always calling. By the way, we got 12 minutes recorded over there. That's what I'm talking about. Because we're rocking and rolling and we're kind of getting to the point of this particular session, which is too many babies can lead to just that. And we need to have at least 24 hours worth of conversation. You remember being on the phone back when the phone was plugged into the wall and you could maybe go 2 rooms away, but you were stuck right there? And you could manage to be on that phone 4 hours with one person. You can manage to be on that phone about 10 hours. Males and females in this situation. Using English because I don't want to hash around words right now. We're going to establish the fact that I'm talking about sisters and brothers. When I say males and females, we're just establishing where we're coming from. Because that's something that we shared as adolescents, and even some grown folk, when they weren't at work, they were on the phone. Speaking with a loved one, catching up with loved ones. Catch somebody on the phone for a long time now and see what they're talking about. Now, there were times where all of us may have done it's Thursday night and I want to see you on Saturday night while we was in high school because we had already talked to each other and giggled all silly like at the lockers. I can't wait to talk to you tonight. I can't wait to talk to you either. Now, this ain't necessarily dating. This is us and we silly, and not everybody had the idea that no, this is not even how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. However, we did it because we had a natural pull. While we were even at a place that was supposed to be teaching us a sprinkling about how we're supposed to conduct ourselves once we become real adults, and we have to deal with reality and figure out how to use these skills and talents that they are grading us on. Never told us what we were supposed to do with these hormones. They just told us we got them. And you're going to be dealing with them while you're trying to make sure that you can remember your combination to your locker. Well, my brain was smart enough to do that. And then I also figured out to memorize some phone numbers. And I can memorize the same way I memorize these dates for the history class, which I don't really care about, but them numbers. Them phone numbers started replacing history dates. Now, mind you, it wasn't always I'm trying to holler at some lady. I actually used to go study at the library, me and two of my best friends. We would go to the library. Well, yeah, the girls were there. But yes, we would go to the library to actually do some legitimate studying. And they would happen to be there because they had to do some legitimate studying. And we didn't bother anybody. We even would sit at the table together and nod at each other while we quietly read our books. No giggling, no silliness, none of that. Maybe if we all happen to leave at the same time, we might say something to each other out in the parking lot. Because it's such a great thing to be able to have a vehicle to drive up to the library when you live in a town that it's hard to get on the bus to go to such things. Not that I didn't mind hiking. It was uphill both ways. I guarantee you that. I didn't mind hiking at all. Cupcake one in the south. Shalom Barak. How many of y'all know about day ones? Two of my day ones is in this room right now. I don't know. I keep being may have ran off somewhere, but he may still be here. Everything's great, Cupcake. You've walked into a session that you will be able to see, Lord willing, Adon willing, inshallah, daily except for on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about entrepreneurship and servicing your community. You know, you and I have spoke for a long time about, hey, once you start getting the views up and everything, go live and so you can get that message out. Well, today, and yesterday, and a few days before that, and on forward. So day one, y'all. That makes me feel happy because it tells me that for all them years back when I was concerned with can this be done, when people were looking at me asking me how come I'm looking straight forward, how come you didn't stop to do like that? Because I'm not a meme. I didn't need to stop and do that. Because I'm walking like this, right? I'm walking like this. You know what that means. And if you're Southern, then you know about some square dancing. So there's only one time that you're going to be doing that. Allemande left with your corn girl and Docera with your own. All promenade with that sweet corner maid saying, oh, Johnny O, Johnny O. That might be a little bit too much code for y'all. So let's back it up a little bit. I run a label. It's called Highest High Studio. If I approach any brother because I see he has some sort of talent or a skill that I could possibly use to both our advantage to make it beneficial to the both of us to where I can compensate him, and I walk up and I say I represent Highest High Studio, that's the kind of information that we need to be exchanging. If I walk up upon a sister and she has talent and skills that I see we can use a beneficial manner for, then that's what I need to be talking about. I don't need to be setting a mood over here that's going to heighten hormones that we don't control. However, we real quick to accentuate those same hormones. So, no. We won't have baby on this playlist because there's something that's real important that's going on. There's one thing they hadn't been able to stop us from doing, and that's talking about baby. And that's talking about what you do to make babies. As a matter of fact, we talk about it so much, the next thing we know, we look up and it's been about 3 or 4 seasons and we got a baby. So what else can we talk about? We can talk about stop. We can talk about STOP. Let's stop for a second and think before we go. Because yeah, we can baby, but where's the sustenance? Where's the textiles? Where's the occupations? And what is the purpose? What are we doing? See, I don't like to get too riled up, and I don't like to lift my voice unless I know that we're all about to move in a certain direction. I didn't go to kindergarten. I did go to preschool. We graduated. Weren't we so cute with our little hats and our gowns on, standing there singing, lift every voice and sing. So I'm real careful when I lift my voice. And by the time I sign off of here, I want it to be ingrained in everybody's brain. In that place that pumps out through your arteries and your veins and holds the law. Riding under the character Vav. It better be etched in your brain. Because there's 24 hours in a day. So what can you talk about? And if that day, by definition, could mean even something that is made of 30 yawns can make a day. What exactly is a day? Well, you see, a month or a span of time, however you want to call it, if you break down 12 of them and you give each of them a name, each of those names would be something that you would say, let's attribute a focus of worship. So we're going to spend 30 yarn thinking of all the different ways that we could associate worship that way towards this entity. But we're going to give it a name just so we know what we're supposed to do while dealing with the one that's giving us these seasons that are showing us how we can sustain our life form because it gave us sustenance and was merciful to do so. So we should be saying thank you. That's what we can be talking about because we don't even determine conception of our children. Real busy trying to do so, but we don't determine that. Selah. Yasharael was told, don't go pulling out your hair trying to end the lives of your seeds because Yahweh Elohim provides for your life before you were even known by a flesh being. All things are already provided. There's no excuse for any parent that's not doing what they're supposed to do. There's no excuse for another person to make it a hardship for a parent to do what they're supposed to do. It's just something we all need to understand and recognize is the fact that we all come from a lump of flesh. However, before we were that lump of flesh, the spirit and the soul that was created was already known by our Creator. So for 24 hours in a day, if we're not thinking and talking and acting in prayer, and we are actually engaging in conversation with somebody else, there's a lot of other things we can talk about besides baby. And our preoccupation should be something that has to do with building the kingdom that represents Yahweh Elohim and his chosen people, which would be the kingdom of the shepherds. I don't know about you. I'm in my studies most of the time. I'm known to joke here and there. And I'm known to slip up sometimes and be a human being. However, I tell you this, even when I'm not on my best behavior, I remember I come from our Father. I shall return to our Father, and may our Father be pleased when I return. I am thankful to be able to walk amongst other people who share this same creed, this same mission statement, who have made the promise to serve our Creator. I give this oath using the name Abdullah Maliki Safir, according to the Shem, the authority, At Yahweh Elohim, known as Allah, At Ravak HaKadesh, At Yashavan HaMashiach. Why? Because they incorporate all the same. Some people have a certain story about Yashabai that might be a little bit different from other people. I tell you what, let's all sit down and do some real studying instead of all the real arguing. And let's find out the truth. Find out the actual bloodline, as they say. Find out the actual walk and talk, as they say, instead of the reassigned nicknames and the assumed stories. Let's look at what is real, or as Khaled would say, let's take away all of that spiritual mystery, mysticism. Let's take all that out. Let's put some context to it, some facts, some reality, something that we can actually go and stand on that same land and see it in action today. Because it was happening before that time, and there are people still doing it to this day. Something that's a misconception with most people is they think that Romans would go through and wipe out a territory completely. No, they only did that if they felt vindication. Most times they would leave the place intact. You just had to pay taxes on the season. So now you got two calendars, because you got the calendar that you would normally use, and they have no problem with that one. But they got this other one, and they say, look, you see this little mark right here where you say you're going to do this and that? Well, we're going to show up on this mark over here. And it's going to be the same time. And when we get here, we need your wheat. We need some oxen, some goats, gourds, whatever you got, pottery, blankets. Next time you go to the market and you're exchanging in coins, we're going to need those metal coins, yes. You can keep some of them, but we're going to need some of them too. Change your calendar, change the words, change your mind. I am thankful that I'm able to walk and talk with people who have opened up their eyes, their minds, and their ears enough to be able to discern truth from what's false. Mighty funny that what they call truth is non-fiction. Still got to tell you that it's fiction, though, but it's non-fiction.